success is my own happiness. You know what I'm saying? If I'm happy, then I'm successful.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm Clayton Griggs from Washington, D.C. I'm 31 years old, and I am a fashion designer.
I'm Christopher Griggs. I'm 31 years old from Washington, D.C., fashion designer and curator.
Our childhood was, I want to say like a little bit under middle class. I wouldn't say we were like dirt poor or anything like that, but you know, we didn't have everything we wanted. You know what I'm saying? So our childhood was fairly good. Grew up with our mom. You know, we were always into fashion. Our mom was a model, like part-time model. She was always like into fashion shows and things like that. So our childhood was always filled with fashion or some kind of creative. You know, my dad's a painter, so it's just kind of a little bit of creativity as a child and growing up. You know, I don't know if you want to elaborate.
Yeah, I mean, I think we had a good childhood coming up. I think our mom did our best to make sure we had what we needed to have. And yeah, I think that really, like, you know, her willingness to let us, I guess, be free in a sense, as free as possible, you know, kind of helped us continue to want to be creative and get into the arts and fashions and things like that. So I think that really like propelled us and allowed us to continue to want to be in fashion and want to be creative. Fashion.
Yeah,
I think that's what really motivated us to move here.
At the time, we were living in Miami. So, you know, as kids, we never wanted to move to New York. We just didn't want to be here. Because clearly Miami is beautiful and sunny and beaches. So we're like, let's just chill in Miami, you know what I'm saying? But we realized we can't really do fashion in Miami, not to the extent that we would get legitimate respect and all those kind of things in I guess, a faster period of time.
I won't say
And
faster.
just more, I would say more opportunity in fashion in New York, just period. So
yeah,
it was
I
kind
think
of
you can
an
still be
easier choice.
successful in
Yeah.
Miami as like a bathing suit designer or a fashion photographer or something like that. But to do menswear and things like that, I mean, it's only one season there, so it would be tough to really push a menswear line if you were trying to do something outside of, you know, t-shirts or swimwear, things like that. What really led us to what we're doing now, as far as I would say customizing and doing custom events and things like that for different brands, really was our work when I was working with Nike and my brother was working with Ralph Lauren. I think that's what really inspired us, because those two places was where we really got our feel for customization in the real world, in the marketplace, and really got to see how much people really enjoyed it, and we were able to see where we could fit in it and see how we could use whatever knowledge that we learned there and things like that to kind of build our own thing and continue to do that.
Starting out, you realize you don't know as much as you thought you knew. I think that's always a learning curve. You know what I mean? You realize like, oh snap! Every day I'm learning something new, or I have to do. It's always something. You know what I mean? You think that you got it, and then you don't. So I think starting out was a little difficult because we couldn't really see where we were going. You know, when you're starting something, you have an idea, but then, you know, things start coming and things start changing. So I think now as it's growing and getting into it, like we're starting to see more of like where we're going with it, where we fit into the mold. So it's gotten a lot easier, but it's still very hard and, you know, strenuous.
Yes.
I would say like our mentors, Edwin Hall, because at the time when we were in high school, we were just getting into fashion.
Yeah.
So he was somebody that was actually in fashion and doing it. That really inspired us to show us, like, you know, kind of the ways, cutting fabric, sewing, all those kind of things. So kind of learning from him and sitting down with him and watching him cut fabric and things like that, like really gave us that like real fire, you know what I'm saying, to like love it. You know what I mean? Like I enjoy sewing and watching an embroidery machine, you know what I'm saying? So that's those kind of things. So definitely Edwin Hall for sure. Like he was a real inspiration as a youth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally piggyback on Clayton saying like he was definitely probably our bigger inspiration of someone who's like on the ground, like working. We were working, with him in the sense of his his mentoring us, just making sure, we tried to understand what was going on in the industry. And he was somebody who was willing to answer all our questions, take the time to listen to us, and break certain things down that we didn't understand, whether it was just being an emotional young black dude in DC or something that actually do with fashion. So having somebody like that is recognized in the industry and has worked with huge clients from NBA players to Nelson Mandela and all kinds of people. So it's like that guy has knowledge that I would never have because he's, an elder to me.
I would say my green cargos that I got from Carhartt that they allowed us to like do whatever we wanted to, or supposed to do some shoot, whatever. It never really happened, but I legit wear these cargos like all the time. I don't have them on today, but I wear them pretty much all the time. So those are probably my favorite item of clothing. If I could wear it every day, I would.
I don't know, I like my Clarks. I've been rocking these ones all the time. These Wu-Tang Clarks, bro. These Killer Bees.
No, those are dope.
Good job, guys. Yeah. I would say these Killer Bees Clarks. Yeah, I've been wearing these like out. DC's awesome, man. I don't know if you've been able to go, but please go. It's a beautiful city, super culturally diverse, even though people can say it's technically segregated, like every city is. But it's still super diverse. I mean, I grew up in a neighborhood, literally all kinds of races of people. I mean, my friends was like United Benettons, you know what I'm saying? My mom was very culturally, influenced by seeing our friends and seeing like, damn, you got a friend from here, there. Like, I don't even got no friends from all these places, So I think DC's awesome for that. We have our own slang. We got our own music. We got our own clothing lines. I mean, people don't understand, like, urban fashion started in DC. Like, at least for me. Like,
Right.
I don't, before there was a 10
Like I
deep
wasn't,
or
I wasn't so
80s.
hype on like wearing Nike and like yes,
Yeah,
like
like-
Jordans or whatever shoe wise, but like clothing. We were wearing like hobo shooters, whatever local brand that
right.
we felt like was cooler than that brand. You know what I'm saying? We weren't like we were not fighting over like, oh, you got Nike on today. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you got that new shooters on. You got that new whatever. Like that's kind of was our vibe, growing up. So I think that's also what inspired us to continue to do fashions as males. You know what I'm saying? Because at the time we were into fashion, it wasn't really a male oriented thing. It was always like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So with brothers back home in DC really having their own stores, brands, selling sweatsuits for like $300-$400, like it wasn't cheap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's really was like, oh damn, we could do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that was like super inspiring growing up in a place that did it. You know what I mean? And they weren't like worried about it. The only thing that sucks is they weren't trying to make it any further than being in DC.
Oh, man. Phone pause it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Thanks, Mark.
Word.
You did that for us, bro.
Word.
Yeah, definitely phone pause it. It was just like, for me, the first shoe growing up. I mean, New Balance and phone pauses is like the coolest thing in DC. Like, for me growing up. I can't speak for the kids now. There might be some kids watching me like, what the fuck you talking about, cuz? And like, for me growing up, it's New Balances and phone pauses. Phone pauses, for one, is the most expensive shoe to hit the market at that time. They were, what, $200?
Right.
So if you had them joints on, one, you stole them from somewhere or somebody, or like your people's got bread, or you was hustling for real.
Any original 1 through, I would say 20, because I do like the 20s, but 1 through 20 Jordan. Original colorway Jordan had to wear on the court. No funny SpongeBob shit. None of this weird ass colorways. It has to be a 1 through 20 original colorway that Jordan wore. I'll always fuck with. I feel like it's just like time. It's all relative. You know what I'm saying? Like I could have a family and feel like I'm successful and be super happy. Or I could be a millionaire and be super happy. Or there's so many levels of success, but for me, success is my own happiness. You know what I'm saying? If I'm happy, then I'm successful.
Yeah.
That's super simple for me. You know what I mean? I don't need much. So, doing what I want and seeing the culture thrive and being a part of it is like my success. You know what I mean? Anything else is a bonus.
I think for me, it's just being able to, feed my family and be able to, do the things that are necessary to survive. You know what I mean? Like, I think as long as you're doing that, and I think you're successful. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, means so many different things to so many different people.
Mm.
But to me, yeah, just being able to Clayton's point, being happy and just be able to do for yourself and not have to worry about, the next person
Government
or whatever.
shutdown.
Yeah, exactly,
Nonsense, you know what I'm
exactly,
saying?
exactly.
Like,
Things that are
you
out of
know
your
that
control.
you're
Like,
good at work.
if you're able to create your own business and create your own lane to be able to make your own funds, to be able to feed yourself and feed your family, I mean, that's success. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I think you got to take a leap of faith to just do your own thing, whatever that is, whether you want to be a lawyer, whether you want to be a freaking, bike rider, you want to do whatever you want to do in life. You have to take that step of faith to want to do that. Whether it's coming from a spiritual place or if it's just coming from just a want to change or want to get out of the normal routine, you have to take a leap of faith to do that. So I think faith in that sense, yes, but our faith and our beliefs, yeah, for sure. I think everything I do, I try to do in some form of love and some form of caring and some form of compassion, and I think that's what maybe attracts people to us. That we are friendly, we're nice. I'm not like a dick. I'm not trying to be mean to people. You know what I'm saying? So I want to spread the message of love. I want to spread the message of kindness and compassion and all those things. So I think most faith-based religions or faith-based people or spiritual people should push love and kindness to all. So if you're doing that, then you're moving in some sort of faith.
I definitely would say, especially dealing with machines. You have some kind of faith in your knowledge of what you're doing, and faith in I can do it. We were on the Cosby Show.
I don't know how fun that is now, but
But
it's still a fun fact.
Yeah.
I mean,
But yeah,
outside of
it's a fun
what
fact for
happened,
people. If you don't
the
know,
show
if
is
you
still
don't know
important.
us and you just see us off the street, you wouldn't know that. So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's like a
That's
really
a
fun
super
fact,
fun
and
fact.
it's like a great situation for us being a part of something like that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
definitely like something we,
Right. It's like we're officially Nelson.
yeah, we the first
We're
grandchildren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we had like a role. It was like
Right. We weren't just like extras. In
Yeah,
our thing.
yeah,
Yeah. You had a role.
yeah.
No, that's dope. That's dope.
I mean, not like Theo, but we had a role.
All right, it's funny because I'm talking to Shardy, and I said this. I said, "Yo, if I was asked for a last meal, I'm asking for your fucking pancakes, dog."
Who?
Yo, Jada makes the best pancakes.
Oh,
dog.
my God.
I'm sorry, dog. That's
Oh,
what
mom's
I'm asking
joints,
for.
huh?
Bro, you ain't had them joints
Hey,
yet. B.
I'm
trying
not a
to
part of
tell
that
you.
conversation right there.
All right, well, my
You gotta
last
take
meal
that
would
one
be Jada's pancakes, bro.
I don't know. This is so hard. Like that. Like I don't know if there's a harder question. Because food.
You don't know what you like, then, boy.
Food for me is like it's such a like a pleasurable thing. Like there's so many good. Like there's so much good food. Like
Word.
I would need like a 10-course meal. Like it couldn't just be like a one dish. You understand what I'm saying? Like I need like from Korean to Southern.
Yeah.
To like,
Smorgasbord.
you know what I'm saying? Greek, I need everything. Puerto Rican food, I need the whole.
You need the whole spread?
Yeah, like what?
You
Oh,
the
you
whole
just want to
spread.
be greedy, huh?
Not Greek. You talking about the last food I'm about to have
Yeah,
before like it's a
that's
wrap?
it.
Like
Yeah.
they're telling me I got 24 hours, my nigga. Like get the
Yeah,
food
why
out.
You trying to go on
I'm
why you trying to go?
no.
hungover on
I'm gonna go. You go on Grubhub. You order it all. You feel me? Come to the crib. You know what I'm saying? You get what?
One thing that best advice my mom probably gave me is don't be with a girl because of sex. Great advice.
That's incredible.
There's so many things, man. Like, shit. It's weird because, growing up, you hear a lot of things from your parents and you don't get it. They tell you you don't get it until you get older and then you realize that. You know what I'm saying? Another thing is like always make sure your rent's paid. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom told me this, and it's like it's things that like I don't think about, but then it's like you think about. You know what I'm saying? So it's like those things have like saved us going through the time. You know what I'm saying? Like living in New York is hard. Rent always going up. Shit is always crazy. But if you always have a roof over your head, fuck everything else, you're good. You know what I'm saying?
I would say the best advice that my I guess my mom's giving me. I guess really just like you can do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? Like just be mindful of like what you're doing and try to just motivate yourself and push yourself to make those things happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, and know you're gonna make mistakes. I think that's something that I'm really appreciative of my mom for telling us and being open enough to be like, you know, I've made my mistakes, I've messed up here and there, and this is how I've done it, and I'm telling you, so hopefully you don't make those same mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And just being open with us. You know what I mean? I think sometimes that's hard. You don't want to tell your child something that you really fucked up on, and they don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but it taught me a lot, and it made me realize like we all make mistakes, and we're gonna continue to make mistakes. But as long as you see that and you see like, damn, all right, I need to make this better, I need to change, then you hopefully do that. You know what I mean? But if you don't realize that mistakes are gonna happen and you just beat yourself up all the time, then you're not gonna actually succeed or actually move forward. You know what I'm saying? And better yourself. I guess the GRIGGS Brothers just like starting our own business, man. I think that was like a big thing for us because I think it shows that we can actually do something on our own and we don't need like, I know this sounds weird because we don't need a cosign even though we work with all these other brands. But yeah, I mean, I think just starting our own brand, man, just taking that leap of faith and not feeling like we gotta like show up at some office or somewhere every day working for somebody 9 to 5 or 10 to 8 or whatever. I think that was like something I'm probably the most proud of right now, until other things come to fruition. But as of now, yes, that's it.